Hello everyone, it's Matt here, and this is a review of the 60141 Police Station, a new 2017 city set consisting of 894 pieces. Once opened up, the box consists of 10 numbered and 2 unnumbered parts bags, with a 13th containing the 6 instruction books and the sticker sheet. Bags 1 to 3 are for the vehicles in the set, with bags 4 onwards and most of these 2 unnumbered bags for constructing the police station itself. Of things to note, I've encountered a new 6Y chassis piece which is new for 2017, which is in 3 sets. This is a modified version of the 4Y chassis piece that was debuted in 2005, although this one adds a plate height 4 stud extension along either side of the centre to make it 6 wide. And here is what the set looks like after completion, which took about 3 to 4 hours for me, spread over a couple of days, although I did not build the helicopter included in the set. And in this final photo we have all the spares and pieces I didn't use to construct the set itself.
So now that those are out the way, this is what we have. We have a garage with a watchtower attached to it on the top. We have a walkway to connect to the levels, and there's a door here that allows access into the building. We have the building itself, which has 3 stories, and we have a 2-storey jail cell block. I'll actually remove this box because it's getting in the way of the door. And as for play features, there's a few we can talk about. Obviously we have the opening doors, so we have a door that opens here on the tower, we have a door here that opens onto the walkway, as you've already just seen, and we also have a doorway here into the actual building itself. There's also doorways, if I take the truck out way and pull this apart from the technic pins, we also have a doorway at the bottom here to allow access to the bottom jail cell. Unfortunately, there's no access to the 2nd floor of the jail aside from at the back. The other features that are included in the set are this moving garage door, which rolls upwards, so you can store the car in, and it fits in just like that. There's just about enough room in it when you actually have the mechanism installed, because I've actually not put the mechanism in, and then you can plate it up as well. There's also an exploding feature on the jail cell for when you're planning an escape. So the truck that I've just taken out, which is operated by criminals, would come up, lift up this AC hatch, and then put some dynamite in, and as the dynamite explodes, out comes the side of the jail cell. Now, honestly, there are a issue with that, because obviously this means that there's an awful lot of parts being taken up in not only the mechanism, so these aren't actually on the same floors, but also because it takes a lot of parts in for a play feature which kind of works, but would have been better in terms of parts used to be used for other things. And we also have this door, this gate that opens as well. So with those out the way, let's have a look at the figures and the back of the building in detail. Now here is the watchtower itself, and obviously there should be a mechanism here to launch the car out of the garage, which I've not put in, and I've also done some modification obviously because of that, because obviously the height of everything else is different, so I've had to substitute a few parts, not from outside the set, so it's all part substitutions from modifications I made to the set as I've been building it. But nevertheless, this is actually slightly lower than it should be, but it does fit in with the overall schema. And at the top level, you can see here that there is a little desk at the top for a man with a coffee mug. The main building features 3 levels, and they're very similar in terms of level design after the ground floor, but the ground floor is quite featured as well. So we have a little entrance desk here with a little coffee mug, as you can see through the doorway, and there is also a photography section here, so that criminals, once they're brought in, can have their photograph taken on a wall shot here, which I haven't actually put in because that's actually a sticker. Moving up to the first floor, we have a little water cooler here, which can have a mug inside to collect water, and there's also a little computer desk as well. And then on the third floor, it's repeated again, we have a desk with a mug, and then there's a little coffee machine behind it. There's also the doorway to the Watchtower, which you've seen from the other side, and here is the entrance to the actual prison block. And this piece I have put the sticker on because I think it's quite good, and it's a little welcome home sign for the prisoners. Now the top of the tower, which is here, should feature a helicopter landing pad, and because I've not built the helicopter, I didn't see the point of putting the helicopter landing point in, so I've just filled in that little section with what the parts are included within the set. And you can sort of see from the back all the exposed Technic. So obviously we've had these rather large Technic beams here as load bearing ones to support the weight of the structure, and there on the across all of the floors, essentially all level changes. So there's one here from ground to first, from first to second, and then from second to the rooftop. Interestingly enough, it's all for the same purpose, because the reason why they've put them in is because the way they've constructed the roof, there is a requirement to have a support piece here to support this little 6x6 plate section for the floor. So I've used a Technic beam with a 1x4 Technic brick attached using Technic friction pins to just anchor that in, so that it is fair, it is sturdy and it won't fall apart, but it's a sort of like a cheater's way because we're obviously missing all this section of the building. So you've seen Technic on the back here, so if I turn this around now, you can see there's Technic there for the link bridge, which fits in like this, and you can also see that there's no guardrail at the back as well, so figs could technically fall off it should they have an issue with it. Not that they'd probably choose to fall off on purpose, obviously. On the front here, you can also see the pin here for the prison block. As you can see from the back of the prison block, the cells are pretty the same in terms of floor layout. So there is a privacy screen here from the sort of like doorway, if you like, because there is a doorway at the bottom but not at the top. There's a little stud there that shouldn't be in there. Let's take that out. So this is the prison block, and both floors are almost exactly the same, with the difference of the privacy screen being one further over on the bottom floor compared to the top. Both of the jail cells feature a bed and a toilet, and the toilet is actually hidden behind the privacy screen, which is actually a window pane which is actually white, not a sticker. Now there is a bit of a difference between the top floor or first floor and the ground floor. There is a little bed which can be used for hiding tools in, and there is also a single stud here because this features a little trapdoor which can be used to escape down to the bottom. Off. And then obviously you have the removable section from the jailbreak, and you can sort of see the back of the mechanism there. And then we have this villain truck, if you like, and it's a very basic build. It's 4 wide, as you can see there, and features this fairly reasonable little moving platform. Now this features some Technic, but it's only on the single side, so it is slightly off-centred for the actual platform itself, but it does the job of the storytelling for the actual set reasonably well. And also note there is a click hinge there, but the rest are just regular sort of friction hinges, so you do have to be careful about that. Inside, there is a steering wheel hidden inside there, and in addition to the villain's truck we have a motorcycle with the accessories on, and that there is a printed side, and the figure himself is removable from the motorbike, and we'll be looking at him later. We also have this captain figure as well. And lastly we have the sports car police vehicle, and this is a 6 wide but 4 wide body, but does feature a removable roof section where you can see there is a driver, which is a female driver for a change, but wearing sunglasses as you might expect, and the car actually has a forward rake to it, and that's because of the way they've constructed the back axle, having a 2x2 plate to prop it up, then the plate work to change around the height. It also has this rear spoiler to create a bit of downforce, though I don't see why the design would actually have that. So let's have a look at the figures.
The set includes a total of 7 minifigures, 4 police, split 2 male, 2 female, with the 3 criminals split 2 male to 1 female. It's nice to see a roughly 50-50 split in gender distribution here. The second female officer won't be shown in this video due to being the helicopter pilot, and I didn't actually build the helicopter. The male police officers share the same torso, and the torsos themselves are shared with other sets in the range, so there'll be nothing unique here. The heads also aren't printed with alternate faces due to the exposed back, but even the female officer, which would have been covered by the combined hair and hat piece, doesn't have an alternate print on it. The criminals look rather generic and are standard criminal fare. The female, however, doesn't have anything tying her to being a criminal specifically, and her torso could also be used in a general setting, perhaps as a former company uniform or professional attire. Again, like the officers, there's no alternate faces, including the female, which, like the female officer before, would have been covered up. Lastly, there is also a dog intended to be for the police, but like the female criminal, there's nothing tying the dog to one faction or organisation, so it could be just a pet, for example. The summary then. Do I think the set is worth it? Overall, I believe yes. It's a good parts pack. It makes a great start set for those without a police force or many police sets, and combined with the 60140 Bulldozer break-in from this year as well, it's a police force with a van, a high-speed car, 2 helicopters, and 7 officers, with the 5 criminals controlling 2 vehicles to capture and control. However, Helicopter Mania strikes again with 3 in regular police sets this year, 4 including the polybag, and a wider indictment of the city, so there's a total of 9 this year including the police polybag, with 2 in the Coast Guard and 3 in the Jungle Explorers theme. Furthermore, parts of the set, such as the prison block exploding feature, the helicopter landing pad, and the separate garage construction, seem poorly thought out and parts intensive, and the parts which could have been used to better add more floor space, modular style removable floors for better playability access, or other areas to the station such as an interview room or break room. However, this is an adult's perspective on the set, so I want to approach it from a reality aspect about real life features rather than the play features for the set the kids are aimed at. So marks out for me probably a 7 out of 10. But feel free to write your comments or thoughts down below, and look out for my own version of the set using parts from a set and an additional base plate later in this week. And as always, there's more videos on the way.